I can't sleep. I lay in bed, stare at the ceiling, and I can't escape the sounds of screaming bulls. I'm in Texas tonight, but my heart and mind are under the stars of the Gila Mountains. We're weeks away from getting on the road, and every day I'm working on preparing myself mentally and physically. I can't help but envision that perfect opportunity and how it will play out. I hear the bugles a few hundred yards away and start to move toward them under the cover of what the mountain offers. The mature and dispersed pine trees make for a difficult approach. I feel the wind in my face, and I slowly move toward where I think the bulls are headed. Each step I take is crucial as I attempt to move silently across the challenging terrain. After several minutes of silence, I hear an aggressive raking of a tree. The desire to close the gap is indescribable, and I can feel it in the marrow of my bones. But the reality is that it's 5 a.m., and I have a lot of work to do. Each year I take this trip with my pops, the man who introduced me to hunting, fishing, and the great outdoors. Growing up in Texas meant hunting in tree stands and ground blinds, rather than spot and stalk hunting. I can still remember going out with him on the ranch in the old Jeep, loaded down with bags of corn. I'm fascinated by the hours and miles spent scouting by the guides here in New Mexico just in preparation for this season. Back home, we spent most days attempting to manage the predators and growing hog populations to give the whitetail the most opportunity to thrive. Whitetail management rules were strict at our camp, and if you saw what you thought was a mature cull buck, you had better get footage of him and bring it back for everyone to review before you pulled that trigger. While the maturity of an animal is still a priority here, I often find that the idea of an animal putting food on the table for an entire year surpasses the desire to wait for the oldest bull. It's a different mindset, and one that I do respect because I'm quickly finding out just how hard it is to close the gap on these majestic animals. September 20th is a day I'll never forget. His smell was strong, his bugle deceiving, and he walked away without a scratch. I was within 12 yards of a beautiful mature bull with absolutely no window to release an arrow. It's a bittersweet moment, almost like a nightmare you want to relive over and over again. To be that close is a success in itself, but for days I've dreamt of seeing him again with no luck. I'm holding on to the fact that it's only day 6, and at any moment an opportunity can present itself. I'm tired. At moments I can only focus on the step in front of me, but I know I can't quit now. We hiked 12 miles today, breaking the 70-mile marker over 6 days of hard hunting, and my husband's words consume my mind. I believe in you, Bird. I've never been more confident in your ability with your bow. You've put in the time and the work. Leave it all on the mountain, even if you have to do 20 miles tomorrow. I'm going home with a full heart and an unfilled tag. So many times I've asked myself what I could have done differently, and I simply wouldn't change a thing because I believe we consistently made smart decisions every day. It's humbling that in one of the best units of New Mexico, with one of the most experienced guides I've ever had, and being within bow range of an elk 8 of the 10 days, that I still wasn't able to make it happen. Extremely strong winds, an average of 20 minutes of bugling in the morning only, 10 to 15 cows per bull, and running into other hunters made it extremely difficult. Before I knew it, I had fewer days left than were behind me, and I could feel the pressure building in my chest. Not just the pressure of getting a bull, but knowing the pain that would ensue when I headed back to Texas. There are few things in this life that I love more than breathing in cool mountain air and falling asleep to the sound of bugles under a starlit sky. The mountains literally feed my soul, and I envy those that wake up to them every morning. One day I plan to have that same luxury. Until then, I will continue planning for another heartbreak. It sounds so bizarre to chase such a painful feeling, but it just hurts too good, I guess. Public land mountain hunting is a beautiful thing, and God willing, I'll keep coming back for more.